Throughout history, ignorance has been a significant enemy of progress and, in this case, financial success. A study done by the World Bank Development Research Group found that only 1 in 3 adults have a basic understanding of financial concepts and that more than 3.5 billion adults lack a basic understanding of financial concepts worldwide. In spite of the fact that financial literacy is higher among the wealthy, better educated, and those who use financial services, it is clear that billions of people are unprepared to deal with rapid changes in the financial landscape. Hello and welcome to our channel. So in this video, we'll enlighten you to avoid or to stop doing these 5 money habits that will keep you poor. Number 1. Impulsive buying. When someone is in constant financial distress, they tend to pick up things regardless of whether they are on sale or not, even if the purchase was not planned. Study results show that the average shopper will make 3 unplanned purchases in 4 out of 10 store visits. In fact, impulse buying can cause an array of problems. As a starting point, many people will claim that they earned these unplanned purchases or that they are needs and not wants. Secondly, when used on a credit card, these spontaneous purchases may lead to someone paying for the item without having the funds to even cover it. Additionally, these purchases make it much harder to stick to your spending plan. Once people realize they've blown their budget, many will continue spending, regardless of the fact that they've failed to stick to their budget. Now, don't get me wrong, an impulse purchase from time to time will not derail your chances of ever becoming wealthy. But as you can see, problems arise when you go beyond your budget. Being frugal with money is an admirable and rare virtue that only a few people possess. Money is a valuable resource that can be used to purchase any service or product. Therefore, it should be spent wisely. As a best practice, always put your needs first before your wants. In no time at all, you'll become more conscious of how you spend, and this restraint from making impulse purchases will have your bank account growing. Number 2. Failing to manage your budget. It seems that we all know where our money comes from and where it goes. We may be aware of our major expenditures, but the little things usually make up the majority of our budget. By failing to set up a budget or not sticking to one that you already have, you will leave yourself without a key to managing your finances and ensuring your short and long-term financial needs are met. You are easily swayed if you don't have a financial plan. It is said in a study from the University of Scranton that about 92% of people who fail to accomplish their goals lack planning. Those who don't establish a budget or don't plan how to manage their money are vulnerable to impulsive buying, overspending, and other poor choices. Despite earning a great deal of money, if you don't plan, your goals will be derailed. You need to remember here that a budget serves as a guide that drives your financial decisions and points you in the right direction. Prepare a budget that outlines all of your financial expenses. I strongly advise you to keep a journal of all your income and expenses, no matter how big or small. By doing so, you will have better control over your finances and it will help guide your actions and limit those that are unfavorable. If you make an inevitable decision that was not part of the budget, you will be aware of it and be able to evaluate how to proceed. In addition to teaching you accountability, the plan will also point out areas where you deviate. You will also be able to observe your progress or performance. Also, remember what budgeting method works for you, as that will ensure you stick to it more often. Furthermore, having a realistic and well-documented budget is the foundation of all your financial planning and success. Knowing how your money works will help you make better decisions. Number 3. Ignoring your debt. If you're stuck in debt that seems insurmountable, the idea of paying it down may make you cringe, and for many, the best course of action is just to avoid it. But if you ignore your debt, you may engage in red flag behaviors like avoiding phone calls from creditors and ignoring bills before you even open them. Debt isn't something you have to like, but you should recognize it. Make a habit of opening your mail when you feel ready and calm. The more you learn about your debt, the better equipped you will be to handle it. Work out payment plans once you have determined your debt amount. Pay your utility and fixed bills first, then focus on the account with the lowest balance if you owe a lot to many creditors. Paying it off can motivate you to move on to the next balance, making it feel more achievable. Number 4. Getting sucked into lifestyle inflation. It is likely that as you become older, you will have a better financial status than when you were a young adult. Changing jobs, getting a raise, and even economic inflation can all affect your earnings. What separates those who succeed in growing their wealth from those who struggle is the way they manage their income and expenditures. These increases in income are tempting to use for buying a new house, going on vacation, or just increasing your day-to-day spending. But if you do so, you'll be back where you started. It's important to keep in mind that earnings are not the only determinant of wealth. Managing your money matters most. Sadly, lifestyle inflation is a natural byproduct of earning more and moving up the ladder at work, but it is only acceptable if you are spending within your means. The moment you begin going into debt to afford a particular way of life, it will soon be a problem. So don't spend more than you can afford and keep your financial freedom intact. Number 5. Not setting aside money to cover emergencies and the future. Emergencies often occur when we least expect them. An emergency can easily set you back thousands of dollars, whether it's a broken leg, 2 flat tires, or a sick cat. If you don't have an emergency fund, you can find yourself in a difficult financial situation. For instance, you might be forced to use a high-interest credit card to pay a hospital bill, or you might fall behind on your rent. This can ultimately force you to decide which bills to pay and which to skip, which is never a good situation. A simple solution to this problem is to create an emergency fund. The emergency savings account should be kept separate from your other accounts so you won't be able to dip into it on a daily basis. Generally speaking, an emergency fund should have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. You don't need to fill it quickly. Start with what you can reasonably afford and then make deposits regularly. After all, this should become a habit. In the future, you might want to buy a house at some point. It might be that you want to send your children to college. Chances are you'll want to retire one day. Planning and saving to achieve this goal often takes years, if not decades. The problem is, many people around the world aren't prepared for the future. According to a recent survey by Northwestern Mutual, 22% of Americans 25 and older have less than $5,000 saved for retirement, and 15% have no retirement savings at all. You're not the only passenger on this boat if you find yourself on it. Not saving for the future can lead to problems such as being unable to afford a home, unable to contribute much to your children's college education, and a delayed retirement. But fortunately, it's never too late to start saving. You can start by looking for ways to reduce costs and allocating more money for savings. Automating your savings, building a budget, and finding a side gig, to name a few. As a conclusion, it doesn't matter what path you take. Acknowledging any bad habits you have now means you're already making progress. When it comes to managing money, there is no one-size-fits-all solution, so you need to be creative and critical to make improvements. Monitoring your credit and keeping track of your expenses are 2 good places to start. If you need outside assistance, speak with a certified credit counselor. People can learn more about financial literacy and how to handle their financial difficulties with the help of a credit counselor. Credit counselors work for non-profit organizations that provide free or low-cost services. Now that you have the information you need, you should be better equipped to make informed decisions about your own finances. Perhaps now you can achieve those financial dreams. So that is all the time that we have today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. And don't forget to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel and view more of our amazing videos. Oh, And one more thing, please do hit that bell icon on your way out to remain updated about all of our future videos. We'll see you next time.